right, so let me run this by you guys. We've had this a similar debate before, which I was the only one in studio, I think, that took one side. So I think it might be a similar debate. Before the debate was if you have saved money for a college fund and your kid decides not to go to college, do you give that money to your kid? And you guys, I think, said
yes.
Yay.
Yes.
All of you?
As long as if they're using it to better their life. So if they want to do like, backpacking across Europe and something like that, or as long as it's something that I think is going to be beneficial and help with their future, that doesn't have to be college. College isn't for everybody. So we save that money for that purpose. But if you find another purpose that is going to bring you happiness, and at the end of the day, what do we want most for our kids? To be happy, then yes, I saved that money for you. It is earmarked for you. It is going to you.
I guess the difference for me is I can see how if you specifically are saying this is a college fund, nothing else.
It's a 429, I think it's called.
Right. So then if you don't want to go to college, I get the point of a parent saying, well, this is strictly for college and nothing else. But for me, the way I would do it is it would just be similar to what Kristen said, a fund to help improve your life in any way that you need that, because college isn't for everyone. So if you believed in a business you wanted to start or in something to that extent, I would not give you the money because you weren't going to college.
Yeah, because you have to think about why you're starting a college fund. And the reason you would want to send your kid to college is so that they can, have career opportunities and they can network and all of that. So I feel like if that money goes towards similar things, whether it be like paying for trade school or, again, starting a business, to me, that makes sense to use that money for those kinds of purposes.
And I'm the only one in this studio that said no. No, that's not the kid's money. That is my money. Now, I will bend here a little bit and say, depending on what he or she wants to do, I will take that money that I control from that fund to do what they want, but they don't get the whole lump sum.
Okay, but what if, so say you have this for Hollis. Hollis decides he doesn't want to do Ole Miss. Instead, he wants to buy a house.
Yeah.
You wouldn't give your son that money to buy a house?
I would give him some of the money to buy the house. He doesn't get the whole lump sum.
Really?
No. No.
You suck.
Maybe.
How would you determine how much you're going to give him?
I don't know. He's not close to getting accepted to Ole Miss or buying a house.
I'm going to tell you something that may change your thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
Your children are who choose your nursing home.
So I will be choosing my nursing home with the money that I saved for them, actually.
And when they declare you incompetent, they will be choosing the nursing home.
I'll take my chances on that. All right, so a similar question, okay? And I think the answer is going to be the exact same. So, yes, I do have a college fund for Hollis, and I'm only saying he's not getting into Ole Miss because he hasn't applied yet. So if you have a college fund set up for your kids and they do go to college, but they do not use all of the cash that is set up in the college fund, then upon graduation, does he get the rest of the money or does it go back to mama and daddy?
So what I would do, and the way I'm looking at it, is that is not my money. That is Jimmy's money. Now, if you are looking at it as this is my money that I am saving, and then depending on what my child does, I will divvy up that money, then you would have that mindset. But for me, I would give him that money after graduation, be like, this is what's left in your, or I would hold on to it. It's still his money. I'm not spending it on anything on me. But if he comes to me and he's like, this is an investment I want to make, or this is an apartment that I want to live in, or, this is a car I want to buy, something like that, then I would be like, yeah, that is his money and he's going to get it.
No, well, you're arguing out of both sides of your mouth. Because if it's his money, he shouldn't have to come to you and say, this is how I'm going to spend the money.
So the money, because my money has strings.
Right. That's not his money. It wouldn't be Hollis's money. He didn't do a damn thing for it. It is my money. So if he graduated and there is money left over, again, I think I'd use the same theory, is that you'll have to come to me. I will pull out of what was left over from your fund based on what you want to do with it. But that is my money and not his money.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. I'm creating a safety net. So if there's some left over, you don't get it right away, I will invest it for you. And then I will set up a trust so that when you turn 40 or 45 or 50, it'll cash out. So that when I am gone, I know that you are going to have a fund, like a nest egg that you can fall back on. And it'll be like a gift from me for the afterlife.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat where I think the meat in the middle is it's not Jimmy's money or it's not my kid's money. money, but it's the money I've budgeted to use on my kid. So if I budgeted XYZ amount of money and there's like 10,000 left over, sure, like maybe I can choose to just give them a lump sum, or I can just say in my budget, I'm going to continue to hold on to that 10K. And if they want to get married or whatever, and I want to use that money on them, that's money that I will have. I've already smartly saved. I smartly spent. I didn't overspend, and now I can just use that for whatever they need in the next, 30 years.
Is that a 529 or a 429 for a college
Four.
fund? 429?
No, five.
529.
But
Yeah.
I'd put it in a Roth IRA.
I think for me, I guess because I will always remember how difficult it was to really start my life and having to do it on my own financially, that if I am in a position to where I can put some money to the side for my kids, for their future, then that means I'm doing all right. I don't necessarily need that money, but I know they will. So if you complete school, still got something left over, I would see that as that's your tip now. Like, way to go. You got it done. Whatever money is left, that's for you to now start to build your life. But because I already separated that money from mine, I would see it as their money.
So you would give them the money that was left over, no strings attached. It's your cash.
100%.
Hell no.
It depends. I think there's a huge glaring sign that says it depends on how fiscally responsible your child is. For instance, Bart, fiscally responsible. His parents should do that, should have done that for him, right? My parents, I was not fiscally responsible. They would have been idiots to do that because I would have blown all that money on tube tops at Express.
That's a good point.
That would have been a bad call on their part, man.
The Bert Show.